Part 1. The first hour. From my security desk in the abandoned mall, I watched a child's ball roll past the shuttered storefronts. Just a red rubber ball, bouncing in perfect rhythm despite no one being there to throw it. I checked the time, 11:47 p.m. Nothing good ever happened on the night shift after midnight. Following protocol, I grabbed my flashlight and walked toward the toy. The fluorescent lights flickered above, creating moving shadows that seemed to dance along the empty corridors. As I approached, the ball stopped rolling, coming to rest in front of Claire's, the old accessory store where that terrible incident happened last year. I bent down to pick up the ball, but it was ice cold to the touch. Then I heard it, the sound of children giggling, echoing from somewhere deep within the mall. Standing up slowly, I shone my flashlight down the dark corridor. There, in the beam's light, stood a line of wet footprints leading into Claire's. Part 2. The store. The security handbook says never to investigate strange sounds alone. But when I radioed for backup, all I got was static and what sounded like a child humming a lullaby through the white noise. I know I should have waited, should have called the police. Instead, I followed the footprints. Claire's was exactly as they'd left it after the accident. Pink walls, now gray with dust. Costume jewelry scattered across the floor like forgotten treasures. My flashlight beam caught something moving in the back corner behind the old ear-piercing station. A small figure, crouched and shaking. "Hello?" I called out. "This is security. You can't be in here." The figure slowly turned around. Where its face should have been, there was only a mirror, the same mirror that had fallen and trapped the children during last year's collapse. In its reflective surface, I saw myself, but behind my reflection stood dozens of small shadows, their hands reaching for my throat. Part 3. The mirror. I stumbled backward, but the door slammed shut behind me. The mirror-faced figure stood up, no longer child-sized, but growing taller, wider. In its surface, I watched my reflection age decades in seconds, my skin withering, hair turning white. The children's shadows danced around me, their giggles turning to screams. The red ball rolled between my feet, leaving a trail of dark water. When I looked down, I realized I was standing in a growing puddle, the same water they'd found in the children's lungs after the collapse. The mirror figure was inches from me now, its surface showing me something that couldn't be true. My own body, bloated and pale, floating face down among the debris. I blinked, and suddenly I was back at my security desk. The time read 11:47 p.m. A red rubber ball rolled past the shuttered storefronts, bouncing in perfect rhythm. But this time, when I checked the cameras, I saw myself still inside Claire's, pounding on a door that would never open again. And behind me, in the monitor, the mirror-faced figure waved, beckoning the next guard to join its collection.